Let's see. So it's always a thing first few seconds. Everything is working fine. Let me see if we're live. Music Condo. It doesn't say it yet. That's yep, there it is.
Going live now.
Yeah. Let me see here if you have sound.
Yep, there it is.
All right. So we are live. All right. Welcome everyone. Welcome to this show. I'm just getting you organized so that we can get your comments up and running so that we can discuss them during the show. So today it's I think this is the first Saturday in May, and May is typically, is it the first? I don't know. No worries about it.
Saturday
Yep.
in May, and May is the
We have sound, so we're good to go. I did see my mom coming in. Hi, mom. My mom says she's the Blues Brothers, and that is indeed the case because my mom had a eye surgery. I think it's a week ago now. Yeah, a little over a week ago, and she is she has improved eyesight. Well, it's not there yet, but it's getting there. But the thing is that her eye is really sore, and so she needs to wear sunglasses. So that is really something to look. Yeah, it's really well. She looks really cool. That's basically it. So we will be going live very shortly here on the on this stream, and we have a very special guest, and we will be talking about it very shortly. So I hope that you are good to go. It's okay to drink coffee. It is okay to drink some Coke or something else, like maybe some beer or something. Hey, it's all okay over here in the Netherlands, where this show has been streamed all across the world. We have people from Australia, from Canada, from the US, from the UK, from Germany, from the Netherlands. So it's really cool that you guys are all here, and I really look forward to hear how was your week going. Did you have some kind of things that you want to discuss? I am pretty excited because last week I got a new camera. It's called a Mevo, and I see that my father says that there's no sound. So let me check if that is the case. Hello, hello. So I see that there is a sound. So let me try. I think that I know what's going on. I had the same thing last week, and that is that if it's already there, it sometimes it doesn't populate the sound. So let me get that on to that person.
There's sound.
Okay. Yeah, there is sound, eh? Yeah. It's just the way that it is. All right. Let me see. All right. Let me see who we have here. My dad says that there's no sound, but there is absolute sound. Got Rockstar Energy here. Renee says Jaya is also in. Good afternoon. It's at your place, Jaya. I see Eric has joined in, and yeah, a lot of people are joining in. That's great. We got 1 minute to go before the show starts. I just wanted, before I was abruptly interrupted because of the no sound remark. I got a new camera which I really like, and we will be using that in the near future. So that's something to look forward to. So today we will be talking about music for backpacking and more in general, also the music that our guest likes. But we will introduce him very shortly. Um, and yes, how I almost forgot about it. This is again on Saturday. Why on the Saturday? Because this is actually the best day to go live. It seems so. Yeah, that's the way that we're doing. We try to do our best. Huh? So that is the way that we are going to go through with it. So we have 5 seconds to go before we have the show started. So welcome everyone, welcome to the show, welcome to Petra's Music Condo. It is absolutely great to see you again. I really miss you. Well, I know it might be just a week, but for me, I mean, I really like just doing this. So my name is Petra Verbruggen, and I am the host of the show. Well, not entirely anymore because, like I said last week, I am trying to reach out to my roommates just to be part of the show, just as a person that I can bring in as an interviewee, but also as a co host. And I am very lucky because I am not all by myself today. I am with somebody who is all the way on the opposite side of the Atlantic Ocean. He is even the city where he's in starts with Atlanta. He is in Atlanta, Georgia. This is Scott. Welcome, Scott. How are you?
Hey, good. How's everybody doing? Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, yeah, I am totally. It's really great to see you indeed. Scott, can you tell the audience something about before we start the show, who you are and what you do, etc. Because we are obviously very interested in that.
Sure. I've been in the IT business for a long time, but I left that business quite a few years ago and decided to live outdoor life. So we started a travel adventure company that we now take people out on these backpacking adventure trips, like in the Grand Canyon or in Utah, the Zion National Park. And so we take people out on these full moon adventure trips, and we teach them backpacking, we teach them outdoor skills, and a variety of other things. So I've been doing that for about 20 years now.
That is totally awesome. So yeah, welcome to the show. And today we are really going to talk about your favorite music, but also the music that you really like for backpacking. What gives you the energy, etc. So again, I'm really thrilled and excited, and I would really like to ask the people that are in the chat to really give a big thumbs up to Scott for being this guest, and are really great to see you. Let me just see if people are in. I see Eric just says he has to do some other work. Well, that's fine, Eric. Very nice to be that you dropped in, even though it's just for a few minutes. I see Stefan Campbell here. Welcome, Stefan. It's a long time ago that I saw you. I hope that everything is doing well with you. And Scott, you were also talking to him. Renee is in. Paul Dixon also just joined. And yes, Ariana is also in. So we have a full house, which is absolutely cool, and I really great of you guys to be here. So yes, I have to admit, I actually, oops, sorry about that. Let's go to my, actually, in all my excitement, I actually really forgot to, start the show. So indeed, let's start the show. Yes. So Scott, we already talked about what you do, etc. But looking into your Like your all-time favorites, going back to maybe to your youth. Can you tell us about your musical taste and what you like?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I guess I'm kind of still stuck in the 70s and 80s. To me, that was like the best genre of music, especially in the 70s, because most of your songs are just about like being happy and dancing and boogieing. And then the 80s, I was still in high school when MTV kind of came around. And so I was part of the whole European invasion into the United States. So you had bands like The Clash, Psychedelic Furs. You had all these great European bands that, were kind of popular in Europe, and everybody knew them. But when they hit the United States, they became very popular. And so that is kind of like my music go-to era. When I listen to music, or I want a really cool pick me up, or I want to feel energized, I go right to my 70s music, and then I kind of migrate into my 80s music.
Oh, that's awesome. Can you just name a few of the artists that you really really appreciate from that time? I mean, you just
Yeah,
talked about the Philadelphia first, but maybe some others as well.
so in the 70s, my go-to band, absolutely, to make my heart pump and to make myself feel good and energized, is definitely, um, oh my God, there's Earth, Wind, and Fire is probably my go-to band. I love that group.
This
Yeah,
group.
there they are. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, September, Boogie Nights. I mean, there's no other group that really depicted the 70s movement as well as they did. And then I'm kind of dorky in a way, but I like another great like 80s song is Fame. I love
Fame,
that
really?
song. Yeah. I love that
Is
song.
that
I can never get
from
sick of hearing
Irene
that song.
Cara?
I could hear it over and yeah, I could hear it over and over and over again. I just absolutely love that
Fame.
song. I want to live
I'm gonna live forever.
forever. Yeah,
For
I love that
Yeah,
song.
that's the one. Oh, that's a great song. Yeah, absolutely. I think
Yeah,
that my mom
so
also loves it. So yeah. Wow.
so yeah, and then
Yeah,
like
I
when
think.
I'm yeah, so when I'm
Go ahead.
backpacking, like when I'm looking for encouragement to try to, get up a mountain, or I've got a hard day, I like zoning out. And so I know this is another corny song, but I listen to Eye of the Tiger. That was from
The
I
tiger.
think it was the Rocky 3 soundtrack. Um, I think it was Rocky 3. Yeah, the Clubber Lang, Rocky. I have the Tiger, man. It's a great pick me up song. I know that's really
That
corny,
is
and
absolutely
everybody's probably going,
well,
"Oh
it's
my God,
corny, but it
he's a
is
dork."
really one of my favorites as well. You know, it is absolutely a stunning song, and I can imagine because I think in the film that he walks across the Philadelphian stairs or something. Is that one or not?
Yeah, that's
The
Rocky
the, the
3.
four
That
famous
soundtrack
stairs.
is when Clubber Lang beats him down to the ground, and he has to come back, and Apollo, um, like takes him under his wing and tries to teach him how to have the eye of the tiger again. And so
Yeah, right.
I like zoning out. Like, so when I'm trekking, and I'm like traveling, or it makes no difference whether I'm like traveling cross country to go to the Grand Canyon, or we're going someplace else. I love zoning out on that kind of music because it's just a really happy, good pump you up type of music that really gets your blood going. And it's hard to like feel like you can't accomplish something after listening to Eye of the Tiger. I mean, feel like you can
Yeah,
do anything.
absolutely. Exactly. Let me see if there's yeah. Ariane says yes. I have the tiger best song for a long uphill through the Smokies. That is right. I've been as a child. I've been privileged to be well. It was in a car to be quite honest, but in the Smokies, and it's a gorgeous surroundings, and I can totally understand that. with that song on your earbuds, this is like you're in heaven or something. I don't know how to call it. It's really beautiful. So yeah, absolutely. So do you have like other songs like I mean this one is pumping you up, but are you do you also have like more laid back songs for when you want to sorry unwind a bit?
You know, not really, because I maybe in a different, maybe in like in a different atmosphere. I might. I do on occasion listen to some Frank Sinatra. I know that makes me sound so old, but I do like some of his songs and the way he his style back then. But yeah, I listen to like I listen to a lot of techno music too. So techno music's got a really good rhythm, got a really good beat. So when I'm outdoors, and one of the things that I try to do when I'm outdoors or when I'm hiking, especially a long day, I like to zone out. I like to just like completely not think about how hard the hike is, or if it's raining, or if it's really crappy weather or something like that. I really love getting in my head and going someplace else, and that's one of the things that music does for me, especially like good beat techno, something I like to hear, something that motivates me, because I can just go to La La Land in my happy place, and then next thing I know, I've hiked 10 miles, and I I don't even know it. And so that it kind of makes you feel good that way.
What I like about what you just said is, and I can relate to that. I mean, looking at the music that I like. I mean, I like even classical music sometimes. It seems that nowadays you have to fit into one box if you like music, but that's not the case. Music can be for for every occasion something else, right? So if you like Frank Sinatra, well, then it's for the way I imagine that is that I'm sitting here at my condo, sipping a whiskey and listening to some music and just with the lights laid down and maybe some candle lights there here and there. That is the way that I like to listen to music. Um, and I think that nowadays, I don't know if you agree with me. It seems that it's really you have to be boxed into something. I am amazed that you also like well, not amazed, but it's funny that you also like techno music. It's
Oh
something
yeah.
that I really like about this. Yeah.
I think the techno music comes, that's kind of like a hybrid from the 80s too, because in the
Uh,
80s they did put a lot of techno beat to, or they did a lot of remixes to a lot of songs from the 80s. I mean, they've probably made almost half of Madonna songs into techno music. And so I think that's kind of like the remix kind of was born out of that. And so, and because I used to probably visit way too many clubs than I'd like to admit in the 80s. I just kind of like picked that up, I think, from the remix days of the 80s. And so I do like techno music. Um, you know, I know, go
Yeah,
figure.
I see a comment. I see a comment from René Chrisman. He says that yeah, for me with music, I can better focus on what I'm doing, and I think that I mean you said it already, and I think it's the same for me as well. Really focus and but it also like if you have a very big hike, it will also help you. Maybe not to think about the pain that you're having at that time or something, right? Something like that. I
Yeah,
assume.
yeah, absolutely, and especially, and Ariane can attest to this, or Hank can attest to it. Like sometimes the weather just is all about the suck, and you don't want
Yeah,
to think
yeah.
about how cold it is or how much it's raining, or I mean, you just want to try to you try to want to get out of your head sometimes, and you just need a break. I call it taking a vacation from yourself. And so sometimes you just need to get out of your head and listen to some really cool, like funky music, and just like go someplace else for a minute.
Yeah, good. I like that. I like that very much. Now looking at, I mean, if you look at what you listen to, I mean, have you been visiting like concerts and such, etc.? And do you have something like something that you really think about, like a few times. So say, hey, this was like the best concert that I have been able to watch or so. Can you say something about that, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I used to go to a lot of concerts, back in the day in the 80s. I went to a lot of concerts. I think now music for me it's mostly like I mean, it's such a private and personal um thing for me. So my playlist is very selective, and it for me now. I love going to listen to live music. Live music is great if it's a good band, like the Shins. You and I have that in common. We love the Shins.
Absolutely.
Um, they
Wow.
played in Atlanta a couple years ago, and I would have loved to have gone to that concert. So, like bands like that, I will still go and make an effort to go to that concert. But as far as my playlist goes, and what I listen to music, that's it has to bring like an emotional attachment to me. Otherwise I probably won't listen to it. And as far as the concerts and live music goes, I'm kind of more picky with that because tickets are so expensive. I did go to see Coldplay though, a couple years ago. They were playing in Music Midtown here in Atlanta, so I did go to see them.
Yeah. So, what do you think about Coldplay? What do you like that artist
Yeah, I do.
much
I
or
do
not?
like Coldplay. I do like Coldplay. They've rocked out some really great tunes, and I kind of follow them. It's always amazing to me, and you and I have talked about this before, like how many bands are still out there on the tour circuit, still playing. Like
Yeah.
that's always amazing to me. Like they had a couple, maybe they had three tracks out of an album go good, and 20 years later they're still on tour. And
Yeah.
sometimes I go to those concerts because I kind of like they remind me of my youth, and so I'm gonna go check them out.
It's funny that you say that because you know that I'm a Simple Minds fan and I've been like a Simple Minds fan from like I was 16, 17 years old. And what the fun part is that when we started going to their concerts, we were all young, and nowadays the same people still go to those concerts, and it's actually like a
Right,
reunion every year again. It's like, hey, I know you from that last year. It's
right,
so fun, so
right,
on,
right.
so funny. It's so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We have a local band here that is pretty good. They're called the Yacht Rock Club, and or Yacht Rock, I guess. And so they're just kind of like a hybrid band that comes out. They play a lot of 70s music and a lot of funky music and stuff like that. But they're a good band, and you have to be a pretty good band to imitate some of the great 70s artists and some of the great 80s artists. I mean, you have to be a pretty good band. And so I'll go when they play locally. I try to catch them at a concert because I know it's going to be music that I like to listen to, and they're going to play it well.
Cool. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um,
Because tickets are
looking
so expensive.
at yes, they are. I mean, I am going to a concert like in a week from now, and I mean the price of that concert ticket is like I would say twice the one that I had for previously. So it's like, I don't know, but I think that these days it's more because that artists actually get more because of the concerts and less because of the album sales. For instance, a totally different market out there. I think somehow
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that's at
Absolutely.
least what I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that they try to get that money from the concerts.
When
Yeah.
was the last concert you went to?
Well, actually, it was funny that you say, but that was really the Shins.
Oh, was it?
Actually,
Oh
there was
yeah. Cool.
yeah. So this is actually a very a funny story. So just so I was invited just like 3 4 weeks ago to go to the Shins, which is an American band. They started, I think it's back in 1997 in Albuquerque, Mexico, New Mexico. Sorry, and they nowadays they operate from Portland, Oregon, which people that are here know that I like Portland. So that is, but that's
Yeah.
totally a coincidence. And I was invited, and I was going to a small venue in Amsterdam, the major city over here, and they had this gorgeous sound check that I was invited to with about a handful of people. Like I'm not kidding you. It was like maybe like a 10 people there. That was really really cool. So yeah.
Wow. Very, very cool. And of course, my favorite album from the Shins is "Girl Sailor." So I love that album. So, and that's one of the playlist songs I have on my iPhone is the "Girl Sailor" track. Some of the songs on that track or
Okay.
on that album.
Awesome. All right. Looking a little bit further I mean, we have been discussing the music that you like in your youth nowadays. We've talked about the backpacking music that really works for you. But if you would, try to get it down to like maybe a top five of your absolute greatest songs that you really like, and maybe for special occasions, right? So it might be for really the hiking stuff, giving you some power, but also for a little bit less laid back, maybe some lounging. Can you give like a top five or so of that? And that can be, if you want, both personal or for as a backpacking, and maybe you could add why that is. Right.
Yeah. So I would have to
Good
say,
question,
like,
huh?
I'm looking at my playlist and which ones I play all the time. Man, I love REM. Listen to them a lot. I listen to U2 a lot. Um, and of course, Earth, Wind, and Fire is my go-to. And oh, you know what I've been listening to a lot lately, and I've got to give them. I'm going to put them in my top five. Is I've been listening to a lot of McCartney and Wings. Post
I don't
Beatles,
know
Paul
them.
McCartney, McCartney and
Gotcha.
Wings. Like in the early '70s, their album Wings, almost every single one of those tracks were a hit. And so I've been listening to a lot of McCartney and Wings. Just like they're like that was like some really some really great music that they played back then. I don't really think I appreciated it as much when I was younger,
Mm,
but I
yeah.
definitely appreciate it now. And so I've been listening to a lot of that. So I'm gonna have to put McCartney and Wings up there. Um, I
Okay.
listen, and then yeah. So I mean, my favorite artist though. I'm looking through there. I listen to a lot of Eric Clapton. Again, McCartney and Wings. I listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire. One you asked me what song. One of the songs I listen to like relaxing music. I listen to some Al
Hmm.
Green. Let's Stay Together. I listen to some Al Green, which is a really like relaxed, chill '70s song. But that's about it, man. I mean, I've got I all my songs I listen to are just a real big mix of um like what I'm feeling at that moment. Like how I'm feel just how I'm feeling. I listen to a lot of Bruno Mars too.
But I like Bruno Mars very much. I
Me too.
actually, as you might know, I also have a radio show here in the Netherlands, locally, and I just, put a song in there from Bruno Mars. He is really good. I have to admit that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's very talented, very very talented songwriter and artist. And I don't think he's ever put out a song I haven't dug, I haven't liked.
Okay. Well, I think that it's almost time to go. But before you go, Scott, I really, really, really would like to thank you. And I'm not only thanking you, but also the patrons that I just put in the screen here below. Thank you very much for your help that makes this show possible, and especially today, obviously, you, Scott. Thank you so much for your precious time. But before you leave, can you say something about where people can find you?
Yeah, so if people want to check out our, we do a lot of how-to stuff and how to get into backpacking. You can go to www.thebackpacker.tv. That's our website with all kinds of how-to articles. We also have a live show every Thursday um, at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. So Ariane and I will go live. She's been going live from the trail and talking about her experience. She is backpacking the Appalachian Trail right now, doing a long distance hike. And so she's been going live. Um, so yeah, come out, check up our Facebook page. Please like it, subscribe to our email, and we shoot a lot of content out there just for email subscribers that our social media friends and family usually don't get. Everyone, we post enough to social media, so we kind of have just a thing for our email subscribers. So yeah, much appreciated. And by the way, I want to say I love your show, Petra. I've listened to your show when you go live. I've listened to your show or watched your show in the car. I've watched it in while I've been
Awesome.
grocery shopping. I watched your whole show one time in Kroger while I was grocery shopping. People were like, "Dude, will you pay attention to where you're pushing your shopping cart?" You know, I watched your show there. I've watched it almost at every location around the Atlanta area. So I love the way you bring music to everybody. That's very cool.
I think I really, I'm flabbergasted because of this. I mean, thank you so much. I mean, it means a lot to me because, I'm trying to do the best at it that I can do. And well, I'm very happy that you enjoy it. And that's, essentially what I would like people to have some enjoyment. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
Okay, so before we go, do you want to? Sorry, before you want to go, do you want to say something to the people at home again, or then? Yep.
No, I just really appreciate everybody watching. Please always check out Petra's Music Condo when she goes live on Saturdays. And I believe Ariane will be going live later on this evening, probably like around 5 or 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to talk about her experience in the Smoky Mountain National Park this week, which was, yeah, it was an iffy experience. And she's going to talk about that. And so come join the show. We would love to have everybody from the Netherlands come join us.
I will be there absolutely for sure. So, thank you so much, and see you next time. And next week, I think that we already have another guest lined up. I will say his or her name as soon as I get confirmation. So, thank you so much. See you next week. Bye.